Hi, so buddies. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you get to see this video, you're highly welcome to this YouTube channel. And if this is your first time of coming across this YouTube channel, you are also highly welcome. And it's with me, Hiwa here. In this video, we're going to learn how to make this beautiful Agbada top or Bubu top. Yes, I call it an Agbada top because it looks like an Agbada, and it is also very free, like a Bubu gown. You get this top is currently trending in most ready to wear two-piece outfits. Yes, you can rock it with your short, you can rock it with a trouser, and it is stylish. So if this is something you're interested in learning how to make, then do well and keep watching and do not touch the dial. So I'm making use of this sample crepe for making of this top, and it's not necessarily you must make use of all the colors present or make use of multiple colors. I just want to play around with colors for making this particular top. You can use one color all through for making this top, you get, and this is just me trying to be creative and playing with colors, you get. So for the yardage, I made use of about 2 yards for making this top. And aside crepe material, you can also make use of adire fabrics and other type of fabric. Moving on, I'll be drafting directly on the fabric, and the next step is to go ahead and fold this fabric. So I'll go ahead and spread wide open this fabric like this, lay it flat on the table, spread it flat on the table like this. And after I've done that, the next step is to go ahead and fold this fabric into 2 like this. So I'll go ahead and fold it into 2. And in folding it, I'll make sure I check out for the length to make sure that it accommodates the length of the top that I want. So I want this top to be about 25 or 24, 26 inches long. So now that I've folded it into 2, the next step is to go ahead and fold it again like this. So please watch. So I folded it into 2. I'll go ahead and fold it again like so. Are you seeing it? So right now I have about 4 foldings, 1, 2, 3, 4. Are you seeing it? So that's what I have right now. So this sides that are open, this side will be for drafting out the side of the top. Yes. And this side will be for the shoulder, and this side that is closed up here will be for the center back and the center front. So please take note that I'm drafting both the front and the back pattern together. And on the screen are the measurements I used for drafting out this top. So the first step is to go ahead and divide my shoulder measurement by 2 and mark it out here. So my shoulder measurement is 16 inches divided by 2 gives me 8, and I'll go ahead and mark it out like so. Now, after marking out my shoulder measurement, the next step is to mark out how long I want the sleeve to be. So from the shoulder, I'll go ahead and mark out how long I want the sleeve to be. And for me, I want the sleeve to be 17 inches long. So you can see that I placed my 17 inches starting from the shoulder, and I'm marking out 17 inches. And add about half or 1 inch for hemming allowance. Moving on, the next step is to mark out the neck width. So for the neck width, I'll be making use of 3 inches here. And I'll go ahead for the neck depth. I'll be marking 1 inch. So take note that I'm drafting the front and the back pattern together, so I have to draft out the back neckline first. So right now I've connected the neck width to the neck depth, and the next step is to go ahead and mark out how long I want this top to be. So for me, I want this top to be about 26 inches long. You can decide how long you want your top to be, so it's all on you. So for me, I decided for this top to be 26 inches long. So I'll go ahead and mark out the 26 inches till I get to the other end of the fabric like this. After marking out the length of the fabric, the next step is to add the hemming allowance. So it can be 2 inches, it can be 1 inch. So since I don't have enough fabric left, I'll be leaving 1 inch for the hemming allowance at the hem of this top. So after marking it, this is the hemming allowance. Moving on, I'll go ahead and measure this end here, which is the center point, to where I marked out the sleeve length. And whatever I mark out, I'll go ahead and also mark it out on the hem. So here I have 26 inches, and I'll go ahead and place my tape at the hem here and also mark out 26 inches. So I hope you do understand. and I'll connect these 2 points together. So let me adjust. I'll connect these 2 points together like this, giving me a straight line. So whatever point or whatever part you do not understand, just let me know, and I'll try my best to clarify more further or explain to you. So I'll go ahead and connect like this to get a straight line. Right now it's time to cut out the excess fabric, so I'll go ahead and cut out this excess fabric here at the sleeve hem, and I will also cut off the excess at the hem of the top like this, as you can see. And I'll also go ahead and cut out the neckline like this. So now that I have this, I'll go ahead and separate this fabric into two. You know it's front and back, so I'll go ahead and separate the front and back. But first, I'll need to notch the center point here so that I will know my center front. So I'll go ahead and notch, just give it a little cut. And I'll notch it at the hem here just to know the center point, and I'll separate like this. Right now I have the back pattern on one side and the front pattern on one side. So now that I have the front pattern on one side, I'll go ahead and fold into two like this. So you can see that's the back pattern and this side is the front pattern. So I'll fold the front pattern into two using that notch that I notch to be able to identify the center front. So I will have to fold it again like this. So you just have to pick one side that will serve as the front pattern, and this time I'm folding them separately, folding this back pattern separately and folding the front pattern separately. Moving on from this center front here, I'll go in by 1.5 inch. So it depends on how wide you want your placket to be. It can be 1 inch wide, it can be 2 inches wide, it can be 1.5 inches wide. But for me, I want mine to be 1.5 inches wide so that when you get to open it, it will be 3 inches wide on the center front. So 1.5 inch wide, that's what I'm going in with from the center front here. And after marking this out, I'll bring in my rule and connect the neck width to this 1.5 inches mark that I've marked out like this. So it's going to be in a slanted way like this. So I just want to use another rule. So any rule you want to use, just make sure you use the straight part of your rule to, you know, connect this together. So I'll connect this to the neck width like this, and I'll go ahead and connect the rest markings together like so. So this is me just making sure the lines are well connected. This is what I have. And now I can go ahead and cut this out. And after cutting this out, I'll go ahead and open this up so you can see the way the center front now looks like. So this is what you should have. Moving on, the next step is to go ahead and measure around this curve. So from one end of the hem here, I'll go ahead and measure round till I get to the other hem, which is the other hand like this. So when measuring, make sure you measure up to 3 times or even twice to be certain that the number you got is the accurate figure you get. So for me, after measuring, I got 63 inches. So I'll go ahead and cut out a long strip of fabric that will be about 69 inches long. Yes, I'll be adding excess to the length. So for the width, remember for the wideness of the placket, I made mine 1.5 inches. So I added half an inch for sewing allowance. So that's why you're seeing 2 inches here. And this fabric is on fold. I cut it on fold. So when you open it, you'll be having 4 inches. I'll be having 4 inches rather. And for the length, as you can see, it is very long. So this is 60 inches here. 60 inches here. And I added extra 6 inches, so making it 69 inches long length of fabric. I wanted this fabric to be, you know, in excess to be on a safer side. At this point, you can choose to go ahead and iron in and stay to the wrong side of the fabric or not. So whichever you want to do, it's okay. But for me, I prefer you don't iron in and stay. So the placket does not have that firmness in it, but it all depends on what you want. So next is to go ahead and sew this long strip of fabric to this curve. Now there are 2 methods to sewing this. The first method, which is what I'm going to use, is to place the placket here. You fold it into 2 like this, and you place it on the right side of the fabric, and you go ahead and stitch it to the top like this. You stitch it using half an inch sewing allowance. Are you seeing it? The other method is the sandwich method, which kind of give a more neater finishing. And that method, I've taught it several times, which is the main fabric will be in between this strip of fabric, you understand. So this other method that I'm using is faster and more easier to do, especially if you're a beginner. So the main thing about this one is you will have to weave the edge of the stitches once you are done. So that's just it. So after doing that, I'll go ahead and also hem the edges of the top by folding it into two. You get? So on the wrong side, you fold the edges into two, both at the sleeve hem and also at the down part of the top. You fold it into two like this, and you run a stitch on it, or you use a bias to, you know, turn the hem of the top. So whichever you want to do is okay. So you turn the ends of the top, both at the sleeve hem and also at the hem of the main hem of the top. I hope you understand. So this is what I have. As you can see, I have, you know, sewn in the plackets. I added stay to mine, but I just didn't really like how firm it was feeling, so that's why I said I prefer you don't iron stay to the plackets. At the hem, I've also hemmed the down of the top using hemming gum. So if you don't have that permanent hemming gum, just run a stitch on it so it lasts longer. And at the sleeve hem, I've also gone ahead to turn the sleeve hem using another color of fabric or bias entirely. So right now it's time to close this center placket. Now there are two ways to closing the center placket. So I'm going to show you the first method. Firstly, you will have to determine the depth of your neckline. So for the front neckline, I want it to be 6 inches deep. So I'll place my tape at the side of the neck here and mark out 6 inches here. That is how deep I want the front neckline to be. And I'll mark out the 6 inches on the other side of the placket as well. Now that I've done that, now the first method of sewing this is on the wrong side. I'm going to place the plackets together like this on the wrong side, and I'll go ahead and stitch them down at the edge here, at the edge of the placket. I'll stitch them down together, close them up together using 0.25 inch. So I'll just first of all use my pin to hold it in place so that I'll show you what you would have once you use this first method of closing up the placket. So I'll stop at the 6 inches depth that I marked out, and so I'll close them up like this on the wrong side using 0.25 inch. And on the right side, this is what you should have when you get to use this particular method. This is what you will have. So that's the first method. And you can see that I stopped at the 6 inches that I marked out for the neck depth. Now for the second method, I'm going to just first of all remove the pins that I use for illustrating the first method. So for the second method, all you have to do is to place one placket on the other like this. You place it like this. So at the end of it, it will now look as if you have just one placket towards the end of this placket. Are you seeing it? So you just carefully place it, and then you stitch on the edge of, you know, the placket that is on top. You stitch on the edge neatly. You stitch it neatly in a straight line. Make sure that the stitches are straight to ensure that you come out with a neat look. You understand? So whichever method you want to use is okay. Now after closing up the plackets, the next step will be to close up the sides. And in closing up the sides, I'll first of all go ahead and carefully arrange the sleeve hem to make sure that it is arranged properly like this. And after arranging, the next step is from the sleeve hem, I'll go in by 8 inches. So you can go in by 8 inches, or you can decide to go in by 6 inches. It depends on how free you want the Bubu top to be for you. How free you want this Agbada top to be for you. So for me, I went in by 8 inches from the sleeve hem, and on the other side, I also went in by 8 inches from the sleeve hem. So you can see, and these 8 inches will end at the hem of the top. Moving on, the next step is to mark out the armhole depth. Now to mark out the armhole depth for this Agbada top, you have to calculate for your normal armhole depth and then go ahead and add extra 2 inches. So you know, to calculate for the normal armhole depth, you divide your round bust measurement by 6 plus 1.5. Then, because it's an Agbada top, you had extra 2 inches to get the armhole depth for the Agbada top. So my round bust measurement is 41. Divided by 6 plus 1.5 gives me 8.3 inches, and plus the extra 2 inches that I will add because it's an Agbada top gives me 10.3 inches. So that's why you see me marking out 10 inches from the shoulder. So on this line, I'll go ahead and stitch on the right side of this Agbada top. I'll stitch on these lines starting from this armhole depth that I marked out to the hem of this top, and I'll be stitching on the lines on the right side of this top of the fabric. So that is it. And after stitching on them, when you get to open it like this, you can see it is closed. They can't be able to see the inner part of the body. Yes, so that's the concept behind it. So this is it on me. You can see how beautiful it is looking. So when you get to open up this side of the Agbada, you can see that it is closed. So that is just it. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you found this tutorial helpful, please do well to hit on the subscribe button, and do not forget to also enter the notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I drop a new video. And don't forget to share this video to others who would also want to learn how to make this Agbada top that is currently on the trend, and I don't think it will be leaving anytime soon because of how stylish it is and easy to put on. So yes, that is it. So see you on my next video. Love you. Mwah.